So I just did a quick search on the channel, and I have drawn Goku 108 times, but I haven't drawn him like just on his own in the base form, like not doing a Kamehameha or anything. So I mean, I've got to fix that, right? Just like I found this cool illustration. I think it's AI, but he kind of has berserker eyes, so no pupils. That'd be nice to do like a simpler version of him as well, just for people to get a grip of how to draw Dragon Ball eyes and faces and hair and bodies and clothes. Landscape page, pencil eraser for these. Sketch it out lightly, hit pause if I go too fast. Head in here, quite small because I wanted to fit in like his arms folded and stuff. So I'll zoom in. Right, and we start with the frown, sort of that W shape in the middle of the forehead, right? And there's lots of ways to do it. Some people do it square, some people do it round. It's up to you. We'll go kind of a mixture. Curving around, right? Like so. And then around the other side. Right, so kind of like a W shape. The eyebrow then comes out from here. So it's like a tick, like in general. It's like a check mark or a tick line. Goes up like so, and kind of curves at the end. And this usually has a square, larger end. And then it goes back down and gets skinnier as it goes down. That's the main thing to remember anyway. Because we're base form, I'll color it black. So in this image, he looks super serious and intense, which is kind of cool. So the other one, same thing. Let's make them match up. They don't have to be like exactly matched up, but just roughly that same shape. And I'll just color that black. And then eyes. So we have a short line just in here, kind of close to the frown, right? And it goes out from there, right? The other one is that diagonal line up here, okay? And then you join those together with a curve. Now we're doing berserker eyes, so he's no colors or pupils, which is easier for us. So we go that way. On this side as well, same thing, diagonal, like so, and then join it together with the curve line, okay? And we're just going to leave those white because we want them to look like super intense. So his nose then, it's kind of like a hook, right? It's kind of left or right of center, depending on what way you want it to go. So we'll go right of center a little bit. And then we're just going to like bring it out, down, and around up like that, right? It's like a little hook shape. And then they usually draw in the shadow on the side, so it comes out a little bit, and just back up the side of the nose there. And you can give them like a wrinkle on the side of the nose if you wanted, of course. Right, and then some hatching lines underneath the cheek, or on the cheek, underneath the eye even. Be a better way of saying this. Right, just there. And then his mouth, right, real close to the nose and real grumpy Goku. Okay, so it goes like across, kind of flat, right? But to make him grumpy, so you have to turn it down. So we go down the sides. Right, and the further these go and the wider they go, the more serious he looks. Right, and then we go down and do his chin. And like maybe some hatching just underneath that lip. So very intense looking. why I liked it. It's such a good image. But you know it's AI because he couldn't do the crossed hands. His hands are folding, so we'll have to sort of do that ourselves. So jaw then, up the side, right? You're stopping sort of like the corner of his eye across from maybe his top lip. It's the rough area you want to aim for. Okay, and then it goes up the side of the face. It's just roughly beside his eyebrow. Then we have his fringe, right? So hair spikes. So we're going sort of black mostly, so you can't see much of it. So we just go like spike it in. And then it goes up to the next one, which, yeah, comes up down to his forehead. Down to his eyebrow there. And there's like another little one here, so it's kind of slightly different. Comes across. And another one here. And then another one. Like so. I think they do another little line in here actually. Alright, so that's like his fringe. And then his ears come out the side. Like so. And you can add some ear lines inside. And then that iconic hair. So comes out from the bottom. Back in. Three or four of these. I've seen it drawn differently, so there's a bit of wiggle room with this. With these hair spikes anyway. I've seen it done different ways. Roughly like that. And you might add, I don't know, we'll leave it like that. Then there's like the round part. Like a single strand of hair there. And then this goes up and over. And then back in. Another big one. Like that. And they get gradually smaller. Now coming down and goes back into the other ear. Right. And then they add like some single strands kind of sticking out every now and then. Like that. Of course, you can color this all black, but they have like sort of tinges of white sort of around the outside, so you could do that either way. Any way you want. Neck. So, buff neck. Right out. Neck muscles going in towards the center. Bit of an Adam's apple. Neck muscles here. And then trapezius going in under his orange gi. Like so. So the center of your chest is always sort of, your chest muscles join these neck muscles, right? Well, your collarbones, but your chest, if you had a huge chest, would be here, right? And the tops of your collarbones are here, but we can just see chest muscles. You always know they're strong when you can't see their collarbones. So then his orange gi curves around all that anatomy down to there. And then his blue shirt, but in this one it's actually black. Orange and black, which is kind of good. Interesting coloring. And there's all these fold lines, like so. And then his gi comes out from behind his trapezius. Some folding lines just on his clothing here. And then his shoulder comes out, bumps out across here. And the inside, fold it down like that. So very wide shoulders now. And then we have like the blue part sticking out, so of his t-shirt just coming across the tops of his arms. That'll disappear under there. Same thing. It's like a short sleeve version, and then the gi comes along the top of it. Right, and then so those arms folded. So if you've never drawn this before, it can be sort of tricky. It helps sometimes to look in a mirror and like do it yourself, you know, cross them and see how they overlap with one another. So generally, like, one sits on top, right, and one goes underneath into the armpits, right? The armpits are kind of holding them. So just pick the one that goes on top, right? So I'll do this one, and we can see his bicep here first, right? Coming out from under this shirt area, right? And then there's like another sort of shoulder muscle, but it's like a shadow. But I imagine it's shoulder, and then trapezius here. There's all these arm muscles and stuff. Elbow, forearm, going this way. Right, and somewhere up here we meet his wristband, right? So we have like all these forearm sort of muscles and stuff on his elbow and things like that. So right, so his wristband, now the AI can't deal with, seems it can't deal with folding arms. So we're going to go his wristband kind of here, and then it sort of bumps around like so, kind of disappears behind the arm somewhere here, behind the next arm. Right, so his forearm is kind of there. So imagine like his wristband's kind of getting scrunched, sort of there, right? And then his wrist goes into his armpit behind the bicep on this arm. So it goes, his wrist kind of goes up and down, just disappears into there. And then we see same sort of thing, pattern over this side. So we can see his bicep sort of in there, and then sort of his shoulder and tricep sticking out this way, elbow, and forearm on this side goes underneath here, right? And then he's got a wristband on this side as well, so it sort of comes underneath there and then comes out the other side, and then his wrist disappears down into there, right? You could do like more sort of hand lines if you wanted on top of that, but I think keeping it simple like that is the way it is in the picture. So right, so His belt, kind of here, just sort of bumps for the tied part, and then the side waistband, very narrow. Actually, I'll bring that one in a bit more. Actually, I'll erase that. He looked a bit fat on that side. And it's got all these lines like so. You know, ski and clothing and all that. So I think that'll do. Goku, base Goku. Very simple, but he looks super serious. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.